Me and Molly have been talking about Todd Bowles being the new head coach. She's fine with it, right?
I'm good with that.
You're good with it.
You know, I'm laid back, good with the flow.
Yes, I have some reserved feelings about this. I'm not happy about it. You know, I'm a defensive guy. I love defense. Now, I'm not saying that Todd Bowles is going to be horrible or anything, but something is not sitting right with me about this. I don't know what it is. I think Todd Bowles is a great defensive coordinator. The guys love him. I mean, everybody on defense loves Todd Bowles.
Keanu O'Neal came here because of Todd Bowles, he said.
Yes. I mean, he's a player's coach, but he's also a clipboard guy too. You know, I mean, he's got these guys running some very complex stuff. I'm not a fan of the tackling. I'm not a fan of the toughness. You know, we got Larry Foote, who I like him. You know, he's out there talking about these guys need to toughen up. They're weak. But
that's true.
You know, it's just something that's not sitting right with me with Todd Bowles. He's going to have to show me. I'm not confident in him. Let's put it that way. I'm not confident that this is going to be a good thing. But here's my biggest concern. Bruce Arians is loyal. He has never fired a coach, an assistant coach, a coordinator, nothing. In all of his years of coaching, he has never fired a coach. He refuses to do it. He says if they're not performing well, I'll just move them somewhere else. You know, Todd Bowles does not have that. Todd Bowles will fire you quicker than shit. Todd Bowles went through 5 assistant coaches, including 3 on the defense. He had 4 offensive coordinators in 5 years at the Jets. No, three offensive coordinators in 4 years. This isn't Bowles' team either. These coaches were brought in by Arians. You know, I don't think Todd Bowles is going to make any decisions as far as coaching now because it's kind of late in the season. But it's a big coaching staff. And I think he's friends with all these guys and everything. But, you know, you want your guys in there. So, you know, what's going to happen? You know, is there going to be some friction, you know, with some of these coaches? Are there coaches that are going to upset because they didn't get the head coaching job? You know, are there guys that aren't going to like Todd Bowles' head coaching style? You know, I just see that there could be some fallout from this that aren't going to be good for the team. And plus, Todd Bowles' record as a coach is not that great. Now, with the Jets, he went 10-6, and then he went 5-11, 5-11, 4-12. That's bad. You know, he had 1 winning year in 2015 in his first year. But it's not only that. It's his whole coaching record. If you go all the way back, he has about a 50% winning record. He doesn't have that pedigree that players look at. You know, when you come in and you try to tell a player, hey, do this, do that, if this player's been doing it for, 10 years this way, and you're trying to tell him to do it that way, he's immediately going to look at, well, what have you done? You know, what is it so special about you that you can tell me to change the way I'm doing things? I've had success doing it this way. You know, what is it that you're, and if you come in with a 50-50 record, they're going to be like, you're talking out the side of your mouth. You're average. Bruce Arians comes in, he's won multiple Super Bowls. He's got a, 0.65 winning record. He tells you something, you're going to go, yeah, I might not agree with it, but obviously the guy knows what he's talking about. So that's going to be
the loyalty issue. I think you're making a lot of assumptions here that this staff is BA's staff and not Todd Bowles' staff. I mean, some of these guys were with Todd Bowles. Like at the Jets, he had Casey Rogers. He also had Mike Caldwell, who has been with us but left this year for the Jags. So he did bring in some of his guys.
Defensively?
Yep. on the coaching staff. So
right. So that leaves offense, right? Yeah.
Okay, but I just don't see him even touching the offense.
I know.
Why would you? To me, I just don't. BA was good in building a team, and he approached the head coaching position as kind of more of a management position, where he assembled this team, got people who he thought would mesh with this culture. He instilled the culture in the team, and I think it's not a big deal that he's not really there, because I don't think he had much to do with the operation and the day-to-day. I think he was more of a big picture guy who handled personnel, bringing the right people in, figure out how the team needed to be. I think with his pedigree, I think that's a good point, but I think just the fact that he brought in Todd Bowles, and Todd Bowles is one of his guys. I think the guys trust BA's judgment, and, they've been under Todd Bowles for 3-4 years now. So I don't really see that as an issue. I could understand the point if he were a brand new head coach to the team and was building his own, but he's not doing that. He was under some good coaches like Andy Reid, but he was under Andy Reid the last year when Reid got fired.
Right.
He was under.
Yeah, they went 4-12.
Yeah. He only took over the defensive coordinator position midway through the year, because they fired Juan Castillo midway through the year. So Todd Bowles took over an already flailing defense, obviously, and they all lost their jobs at the end of the year. It was kind of a last-ditch effort. He was put in an impossible situation there, in my opinion. Same thing when he was with the Dolphins. He became the interim head coach in the end of the season. There were 3 games left in 2011. They fired Tony Sperano. Todd Bowles ended up going 2-1. I mean, that's not a huge sample size for sure, but it's not, I get he hasn't been on great teams before. He was in no-win situations there. He was with BA in 2013 and 2014 in Arizona. Then he got hired at the Jets in 2015. Now, this was after they had fired Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan went 4-12 in the prior year. Todd Bowles comes in, brings all his guys in. He goes 10-6 that season. They barely missed the playoffs. And then from there, it didn't go great. So that's a valid point. But I just think our culture is already instilled in the organization. Like, he's not culture building. He's not even team building. And even if, he's the head coach now, BA, I feel like, is in the front office working with Jason Light. And I think the player acquisition is going to be exactly the same. I think BA is just taking over that portion of the team building. And you let Todd Bowles keep handling the defense. He's the head coach, but kind of in name only. And then, the offense is in place. Tom and Byron, they got that locked up. So I just don't see it as an issue. I think we're an established organization. I just don't think it makes much of a difference who the head coach is. I think BA also had taken such a back seat on a lot of the head coaching stuff. Like, again, I think he was just a big picture people manager, maybe game manager to an extent on the sidelines. He was the face of the organization, but I think a lot went into him picking his staff over the years and getting people in there that he trusted and relied on. And I think that they're the ones who have really been running the show this whole time.
This is true. I mean, I agree with you, and I hope that I'm wrong. It's just a feeling I have. I don't see this as an improvement. I see it as kind of a step down, and only because everything's already in place. I don't think it's going to be a bad year. But I do worry that things could go sideways if things don't go right immediately. I'm worried that Todd Bowles might start thinking about firing people and, whatever. Todd Bowles is, he doesn't have that pedigree, like I said. And there's something that comes along with that where if things start to go bad, you just kind of go with it. You expect it. It's not, when you're a winner and things start to go bad, you really double down. You're like, I can't let this happen. I'm a winner and everything. And, when you've had a lot of seasons of mediocrity or even bad, you're like, we'll just try next year. And I don't want that attitude here. Let me see here. Todd Bowles was coached under Al Groh in 2000, the Jets. He was a secondary coach there. He went 9-7. Butch Davis from 2001 to 2003, a secondary coach with the Browns, went 7-9, 9-7, 5-11. Terry Robisky, 2004 with the Browns. He was a secondary coach there. He went 4-12. Bill Parcells with the Cowboys, 2005 and 2006. He was a secondary coach there. Went 9-7, 9-7. Then he was Wade Phillips with the Cowboys, 2007. They went 13-3. Then, like you said, he went to Miami with Tony Sparano. From 2008 to 2011, he was the assistant head coach and interim head coach, secondary assistant, and eventually went to the head coach position. Now, while he was there, Bill Parcells was the executive vice president of football operations, basically the same thing that Bruce Arians is doing now. While he was there at Miami, they went 11-5, 7-9, 7-9, 6-10. Then he went with Andy Reid in 2012, Eagles secondary coach, and then interim defensive coordinator, like you said. They went 4-12. Then he went with Bruce Arians, 2013, 2014, as the Cardinals defensive coordinator. They went 10-6 and 11-5. Jets head coach, 2015, 2018, he went 10-6, 5-11, 5-11, 4-12. Then with Bruce Arians, so 2019 to 2021, they went 7-9, 11-5, 13-4. So he's had 11 losing seasons and 11 winning seasons.
Right, but look at who the hell he's played with. Jets, Browns, Dolphins, Eagles.
But he's played
like they've
great
been
coaches.
Shitty teams for years.
Great coaches.
Okay, Bill Parcells and Andy Reid.
Wade Phillips.
Come on. Wade Phillips got fired from the freaking Cowboys not long after that.
But anyhow, he's won 11. He's had 11 winning seasons. 4 of those were under Bruce Arians. He only had one under himself, one under Tony Soprano, one under Wade Phillips, one under Butch Davis, and one under Al Groh. So Bruce Arians has really been the reason why he doesn't have a completely horrible record.
Well, lucky for him.
Bruce
Arians that built this team and is still in the front office.
Yeah. I don't know. I just, something me and Molly have been kind of talking about, and I just have kind of an icky feeling.
I think that it's just
I'm hoping I've just overblown it.
Well, the whole thing's just weird. From top to bottom.
Yeah.
It's been a weird off season for us, and it just feels like there hasn't been a whole lot of transparency. The Tom Brady retirement and then unretirement, and then immediately thereafter, BA stepping back. Like there's something there that we don't know as fans.
Right.
And so I don't know that we'll ever know. I don't know that it's a huge deal, but it makes you a little sus, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Guys,
we got to get out of here. Let us know. Give us some feedback. What do you think about Todd Bowles as a head coach? And do you think that the season's going to go as good as it did last year, worse than it did last year, or better than it did last year? I'm talking about the record and playoff run and all that good stuff.